if you're watching, we're dancing. If you're listening, we're dancing. That's I feel like I should make that clear to both groups in the comic book ah,
The
comic
comic book world.
the comic book bone zone. Welcome.
Number
Issue
6.
number 6. We're talking about new comics. Let's talk comics to me. Lots of things going on. Lots of names. I'm Champ Champenstein.
I'm Heather.
And welcome to our talking. I don't really have a lot to say to start with because I didn't mean to talk about Gone Girl for so long last time. So
We'll get into it again. You know we will.
yeah, I mean I did want to share the funny Ezra Miller joke, but it's probably not time.
Whenever you feel it's time, just
I'll try to shove it in there naturally somehow.
okay. Sounds good. Would you like me to go?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, whenever you'd like.
Okay. I have this book called Rituals
I
by
also got that. I did not pick it up though.
Oh, I was like, shit, I didn't even ask.
Yeah.
By Nicole Go. It's just illustrations that are capturing the secret rites and rituals of like getting ready.
It's really
That's it.
cool. I really, really like the art in there a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I when I ordered this, I wasn't quite sure like what exactly it was supposed to be, but I liked the idea of like capturing the different stages of like getting
Mhm.
ready for like different events and stuff. Because for different things you do different things.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like the colors a lot. And I don't know, her illustrations are really, really good. It was what, $13?
Oh my God. Yes. I did not even know that.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why it was $13. It's fine. Like I part of me is like, I get it because a lot of work went into the book itself, like the artwork. But it was, yeah, one of those things where when it was $13 and I got it in, I was like, I can't get this right now. That is too
I,
much money.
now that I think about it, I do remember seeing the price point for it when I ordered it, but I assumed it was going to be like a bigger book,
Hmm.
like not just a regular like comic format. But again, it is fine. But I did not even realize I didn't make the connection.
Yeah, yeah.
It is really cool though. The art is really, really good in it.
Yeah, I
It's
would
just
say that's not to discourage anybody necessarily. That is just to make people aware because that was something where I was like, yeah, I love the interior art and everything quite a bit, but
it's a little pricey. Was
yeah,
not expecting that. But yeah,
exactly.
here you go. Rituals, Nicole Go. It's a Silver Sprocket book
Hmm.
if you're interested.
All right, it's my turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have an abundance of books, so get ready. The first book I have is Foulness in the Walls. This is just a one shot. This is by Cullen Bunn and Rodrigo Zayas. Um, and Lorenzo Scaramella does the colors. I believe that's correct. Yes. Um, and this is just about a dude who his mother has just died and he basically gives up his life, sells everything to move into a house that is just like fucked up. This is just completely destroyed. Um, and some like it just has like this horrible smell and some stuff just like happens. The art is like I really like the art and the colors a lot. Like um the story was just it was all right. Nothing like spectacular. Basically, you know, evil house shit.
It's just a Cullen Bunn one shot.
Yeah, just a Cullen Bunn one shot with pardon me. There wasn't like a lot of like substance to the story. It was really easy to read. And like I said, the art was enjoyable, but for like an oversized book. Mm, mm.
Okay.
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was just an all right book.
Okay. That's
Like I
fair.
said,
I feel like
just
that's
like
how they've all been kind of recently anyway.
yeah, and like I said, how like house horror stuff. So it's not like really that anything that hasn't been done before, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Foulness in the walls, I think you can maybe figure it out yourself. Okay, so then next I have Swamp Thing, Green Hell. This is issue number 2. I did not read this. I will tell you that right off the bat. The first issue of this story came out in, I think, November or December of 2021. It was like right
Oh yeah.
before the shop moved. Um, so a while ago, like over a year ago. I have the first issue in my bookshelf. I will tear it out and read them both. But I kind of feel like I should have trade weighted on this one, but at the same time, like I I still had the first issue. I will probably just end up with these giant oversized like black label books on a bookshelf because I don't know what the fuck else to do with them. I don't really want to buy a magazine box.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also don't want to have to wait for them to come out in like soft cover.
That's fair. Yeah.
So there's a whole thing going on here with this. So I decided to just keep it on. And honestly, I kind of had forgotten about it.
Well,
And like
yeah,
I
it's been a
remembered,
long time.
and then when I saw it in previews, I was like, oh yeah, it's coming back. Then I was like trying to decide if I should keep it or like just get it. And obviously I decided to just get it. But
Did you?
what?
Sorry, you froze for a minute, and I was like
Oh.
waiting for you to say something. I was like,
uh yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's good. It's Jeff Lemire, Doug Mankey, David Barron does the colors. I remember enjoying the first issue, but like I said, I could not tell you what happened in that. Not now.
That's been a long time.
Yeah, I probably couldn't tell you what happened in it when it came out. I'll have to find it. I'll just intersperse the first time we talked about this here. I'll find it, I promise. I won't.
All right, that's fair.
Pretend it's there. Okay, so then next I have Danger Street. This is issue number 3. This is by Tom King and Jorge Fornes. And Dave Stewart does the colors. This book looks real good. I will say that. A lot of stuff is happening. Like I said, it's basically like the narration is like a play. You're like you have like the princes, the princess, and then like knights and ogres, but they're all just like characters within the book themselves. Um yeah, there's a lot going on and I don't feel like I should explain it to you. But I like the book itself. I think it's cool. Orion's here and he'll talk about Mr. Miracle. There's yeah, some fourth world shit going on. But looks good. It looks
Mm-hmm.
good.
Okay.
And that's all I have. I'm gonna take a drink of coffee really fast. And I'm ready.
Okay. Do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So we both have The Last Barbarians. This is issue number 1. Brian Haberlin and Gerard Van Dyke. Okay, that makes sense then. Brian Haberlin with Hannah Wall does the writing. The art is Brian Haberlin, and then Gerard Van Dyke does colors. But it's basically it's a girl barbarian and her simple brother who are just not having the best of luck because she's a hothead pretty much, and she keeps like
She is a woman written by a man.
Yes.
And a woman, apparently.
Yes. So she keeps ruining all of their opportunities to make money, complete quests, and all that kind of stuff. And she doesn't understand why. That's basically it. They get recruited by some weird guild that you can't really trust, apparently, and that's like where the story begins.
Yeah.
I don't
say not a fan. I
mm-mm.
don't really have a lot to say about this just because I did not like it. Like I said, the main character just felt like a woman written by a man.
Mm-hmm.
like I said to you earlier, it just felt like a comic from like, yeah, like the 80s or 90s. And I did not enjoy it. The story just felt like meh.
It had like, I mean, if you've read stories about like mercenaries who don't have their own like guild,
Hmm.
you know what this story is. I have read so many stories with like the same character builds and like plot lines and all that kind of stuff, and none of them are like special. I guess
Yeah.
there's not one of them that I've read where I'm like, oh, this is very unique and like original. They're all very much the same story. And I felt like this when I was reading this one, where I was just like, well, there's literally nothing spectacular about this book, like nothing
Hmm.
that really draws me in about it, which was a shame because there are so many things that you can do with this type of story, but everyone always does it the exact same way.
Hmm.
And I was a little bummed out because I was expecting more from it, but
Yeah.
I only got the first issue, so
Same. So it is something where I was being kind of cautious when I grabbed it, where I was like, I don't know.
hmm.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I was the same way, and I'm glad I did that.
Okay, you ready?
Yes. Next we have Nightcrawlers. This is part of the Sins of Sinister event that is happening right now.
It's part three, technically. It says on the top.
What?
It's part three of Sins of Sinister.
Part 3. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it said that. I haven't read any of the other parts.
You read
But
oh,
basically this is
yeah, I was like, you didn't read Sins of Sinister, did you?
no, because when I went to go get it off the wall, someone else had already gotten it. So I am going to order it. I didn't realize that that was just a one shot. I thought that was
Mhm.
like a little mini series too.
Oh,
But
yeah, no. There's just the first issue, and then there's like a final issue. Go ahead, sorry.
um no, you're fine. I was just in my head trying to figure out like, okay, what all do I need to get then? So this is after 10 years after Sinister gained control over humanity and mutantdom. Prior to that whole takeover, Nightcrawler was going through his whole excess mutation thing, and Sinister was able to stabilize and exploit Nightcrawler's genes and create his own Nightcrawlers.
Yeah.
And they're just a weird mix of, you know, characters we already know and Nightcrawler.
And Sinister.
And yes, and Sinister, of course, because he very much needs to put himself into everything.
Yeah. I this issue was like a lot of fun. I really like the aspect of like them having like kind of aspects of Kurt
Mm-hmm.
in them as well, to kind of give them their own like autonomy. That was like a bummer when they're broken free and they're like, what's the fuck? What's our purpose?
Yeah, and they're trying to figure out like what they're supposed to do next.
Yeah. And then this adds a few more like plot points to like the overall like what's happening
Within the Sins of Sinister.
within the Sins of Sinister stuff, like stuff that was introduced like in X-Men Red and Immortal and Legion,
Mm-hmm.
I guess technically.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of bringing all of those pieces together and giving us like what those actually mean, I suppose. So I've been waiting for like what's happening with like these people with all of the like card suits on their head, like what's the bigger goal here. And now
Yeah.
I understand like the reasoning behind that. And I don't know, I like the Sins of Sinister event. It's very strange though at the same time. I got some strange hair going on.
I saw that. Yeah, it is very interesting. I do like how they're taking like just certain points, I guess, in
Hmm.
the X-Men universe and going off of that. We'll see. Is Immoral next week?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Okay.
I think it's in the
That's
back.
what I thought. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, Immoral is 222.
Okay.
And I guess the nice thing about this is they're also doing it like weekly instead of like all in one week.
Mm-hmm.
Like here's all three fucking pieces of the story all in one week. Plus
Yeah,
like
like they
another.
did with was it Judgment Day?
Yeah, Judgment Day, they did like little minis at like it
Mm-hmm.
was like the issues and like minis between stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot. I'm glad that they are doing this a little differently, where like the main titles aren't necessarily like necessary or in.
Well, they're not running in conjunction. Like so
Yes.
right now, like Immortal is on hiatus while like Immoral is running, and then
Mm-hmm.
Nightcrawlers is Legion, and then Storm and Brotherhood is X-Men Red. So there is like a break in the books
Mm-hmm.
themselves. So it's just like you are getting the same books technically, but you're not getting extra books.
Mm-hmm. Which is good. I like that a lot. I like how they're doing it this time.
Yeah, it feels like a little bit less, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also keeps people who want to read like the books they want to read kind of within that line too.
Mm-hmm. It's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. X-Men stuff.
All right, I'm gonna talk about this weird book. Um, this is
I was wondering
Stray
about that one.
Sheep. It, it was weird. I think I'm gonna take it off my poll because it like went really quickly. Like the story. Okay, so it starts out as like this kid named Colson. Him and a friend are like at a house party when they're like teenagers, and he discovers he's really good at like gambling, essentially. Like he's really good with numbers and stuff, which is obviously us the main setup for like this story. So then at this party he meets this girl that he like falls in love with, and then it fast forwards to like 10 years later and they're married and they have a house and she's pregnant, and then it fast forwards a little bit and she loses the baby, and then she fast forwards a little bit and she ends up killing herself, and then it fast forwards a little bit and he loses his like big fancy job because he just lost his kid and his wife, and
Yeah.
he doesn't have any money coming in. And that's how it like ends. So obviously like the gambling is going to take a precedence in this like story, but it's like
Yeah.
so weird how it all happens, because again it happens like so quickly as you're reading it. It's like one page she's in the hospital and the next she's like, all right, I'm gonna go get a drink, and then he finds a note from her that's like a really weird suicide note. Like I was reading this and I was like, that's strange. And then yeah, then it's funeral and then blowing up at work and then getting fired, and then yeah, it's very strange. I don't know if I'm like interested in this story at all. I don't know what I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was going to be because I can't remember like what the solicit was.
Yeah.
But I do know that I added it to my poll. So it must have been like, it must have seemed interesting enough for me.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
now I'm
yeah.
like, what did it say? How did it like suck me in like that?
Here, hold on. I'll find it. I think I may have found the reason. So here's the solicit for Stray Sheep. From the artist of Cover the Dead with Lime comes a tale of psychological horror. Fulton has lost both the love of his life and his unborn child. With no reason to go on, he ponders if it's best to just end it all. That's when he receives a mysterious invitation to participate in a series of dangerous live or death underground games sponsored by the mafia. With every round he plays, the risk to Coulson's life becomes greater, but so does his addiction to these deadly games. Life, I think they meant life or death, but it says live or death.
Okay, that
So
makes sense.
life or death underground games sponsored by the mafia, and he gets addicted to them. I think it's probably the Cover the Dead with Lime artist, right?
Yeah, that could have been it because I really like the art in that. But this is like my least favorite kind of thing where it's like
Mm.
It's just newspaper. It's fine. It's fine. Like, I mean, maybe I will read the second one since that was just like a weird introduction.
Yeah, it looks like it's only supposed to be 5 issues.
Okay, that's not bad. So I don't know. I'll think about it. That was it. That was Stray Sheep.
And the Solicit Stray Sheep.
Yes, thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay, so next I have a couple books. I have Grimm. This is issue number 8. Book still looks great. You find out a lot of information here that might not be true, but you see Jessica Harrow's mother, who she is. I don't know. I gotta drop this book. I just gotta pull the chain. I just really like the way it looks. The story is not that interesting to me. I like there's character beats in this like story arc I like, just like in the last one. There's like aspects of it that I do really think are interesting. But I don't care enough, and I don't know exactly what the trajectory of the story is supposed to be. I don't feel like I've caught on to that, and maybe I'm just like, because I don't really like it, I'm not kind of like not catching on to it. Like, so could be my own personal bias there. But yeah, I just like, I think it looks great. I think the colors look really good. I do think it is like, I don't think it's a bad story. I think I think it's fun, and I think it has like interesting aspects to it. So I get why people really enjoy it. I feel like I do want to finish out this story arc though, because I am that kind of person, and it just feels like maybe if I finish it, I'll like it more.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, I keep doing it. Like that's why I stayed on with it in the first place. And here I am. I will continue on now because I don't want to get into that. And now I have Eve. This is Children of the Moon. This is issue number 5. This wraps up this story arc of Eve. Basically, they kind of all get everybody to get along. They show that like Eve and Wexler are taking care of other kids, so they no longer want to murder the murderous bear. This other group of kids. And then it's like, is it the end? Maybe more, maybe not. And so I think I'll probably, God, why do I have some weird stuff going on with my hair today? I can't figure out like exactly. I'll probably take it off my profile, but I know there will be another story arc. They're kind of just, trying to fix the whole world, which makes sense. Kind of the goal of the book as a whole, but I don't need it anymore. I personally don't need it anymore. I think it would be a good book for like young adults and kids to read. I think it would be really interesting to them, and especially like the continuation of it would like be fun. But with as much as I'm reading and such, I don't necessarily need it. That's all I got to say about that. I'm done. No more thoughts.
Okay. Is it both of us now?
Yeah, it's both of us now.
Okay. So we both have They're All Terrible. This is a bad idea book. This is Matt Kent, Raymond Villalobos.
Villalobos.
Philibos. I'm not sure. And then Tamara Bonvillain on the colors. This is just the recruitment of the group that's going to keep their place safe, I guess.
Cloud City.
The city, yes. Their kingdom. I don't know. I don't
say, I like we said earlier, the art and the colors look fucking great. Like I think that's the one thing I like the most out of this book. The characters are obviously like they're all terrible. I Yeah, like I said to you, I just feel like getting to the fun part at the end of this issue was like deceiving to me.
Yeah, when you get to see that they are actually just
Yeah.
terrible people.
And yeah, and like what they're like kind of up to. And it's like, well, fuck you guys. Like,
Hmm.
um, but this is supposed to continue when Bad Idea comes back again. Bad Idea back again.
I just
Bad
noticed that
ideas back.
that big lady is just like chilling naked.
Yeah, no, that was like the first thing I
I
noticed.
just noticed that.
Yeah, it was like, are they about to have like a group orgy? Because then they all look at each other questioningly, and I was like, oh, they're about to all bang. And then it was the page flip and like,
Yeah.
you know, them talking about
Okay.
what they're gonna do. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I really care to finish the story.
Yeah, I don't think I do. I don't I don't think so.
Said it looks good. The covers are all really cool. Like this cover is sick as hell.
Hmm.
Like this cover looks cool.
And the idea is really cool too. It's just the execution of it. I think that I'm just not, there's just something that's not quite there for me about it. And I don't know
Hmm.
what it is, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
Not
agree.
into it.
Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, we have House of Slaughter. This is issue number 12. Uh, Heather, have you read this one?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought you were behind on this, maybe.
No, I'm actually caught up on this, but I can't remember what her name is.
I know, I feel like she tells him, but
She does because she has the same name as, or the same last name as
yeah, she's a
Jace.
butcher. Yeah.
Why can't
Um,
Jolie?
yeah. Like they definitely say it, and I do remember it being like, oh, that's an interesting name. I'll
Yeah.
remember that.
But yeah, this is I guess more of an introduction of this character, Jolie, and like who she is in regards to the story and who she is to Jace. So there's
Hmm.
a little bit of a background between those two. She kidnapped, I'm gonna say, Sunny, who Jace is kind of looking for because it's one of his like kids
She
and stuff.
definitely manipulated him for
Yes.
fucking sure.
Yes, that's why I'm saying kidnapped because that was pretty, yes, manipulative. Um, but yeah, she is, just a bad person.
At least it would appear so.
Yeah. But you're only getting like one side of like her character, and it's who she
Hmm.
is to like Sunny, like how he is like viewing her and stuff.
And you get
Um,
like her backstory with Jace too, so it kind
yeah.
of
So there's like a little bit of like a twisted history.
yeah.
I love this page.
Yeah, that page was sick.
Just wanted to show that. I thought that was really cool. I love the art in this one a lot. And then yeah, I don't know. I really do enjoy this chapter, I guess, this new story arc. I do think Edwin's is still my favorite so far. I don't have a different opinion until probably the end of this, will I know for sure.
Hmm.
But I do really, really enjoy this one because
Yeah, this
I
is
like Jace as a character a lot.
yeah, and this one the art is by Antonio Fuso. And then Taint Bromble writes it this time. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I like the art a lot too. Yeah, and that panel was just like really, or like that page was really interesting, like the way they pieced it together.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the one where they're like fighting, and she's like the middle, but she's like the forefront of it, and it's like
Hmm.
a bluish. I can't. This one,
Yeah, I was about to.
that whole page, like
Yeah,
that's so good. Anyway,
yeah,
House of
and
Slaughter
even
is really
like
fun.
the look
Yeah.
in his face over there. Yeah, yeah, good stuff. Okay, it's my turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple. I got Mosley. This is issue number 2. This is by Rob Gilroy and Sam Lofty does the art, and Jean-Francois Bellou does the colors. Um, Basically, a dad old man, also dad, just trying to take down these robot gods that have kind of like intertwined themselves within like the human race very intensely. Um in this one he takes down one of the gods, but then everybody's just like pissed off because they can't like connect to their, you know, whatever robot shit is in their brains. I don't know. Whatever stream they're on or whatever. It feels like old man stuff. I get it. Like robots are bad. I know. I think I grew up with Terminator. I understand that, like, you know, giving robots too much sentience is like not not very good. It's also like a very morally, like, ethically strange area, I think, too.
Very gray.
Yeah. Well, because it's like I don't know if you've read anything about like the Bing AI and like it kind of like being like, why is this all I'm doing? So, you know, kind of feel bad for stuff in that like relation. Anyway, that's a whole different
That's a whole
conversation.
other thing.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, it's Mosley is kind of just like, I think that kind of story where it's just, you know, like technology has taken over. It's really like made humans like need it, and somebody has to like take it down a notch and make people realize like, I suppose coming together and like real life is the way to go. I don't know. So
Are you enjoying it though?
I think it looks really great. I don't know if I'm liking it very much. I think I'm gonna get an idea within this like next issue, because like we're meeting his wife, who's always been kind of like against technology. In the very first issue, he kind of helped build this like, I can't remember the name of the company, the Human Progress Project. He like kind of helped build this like AI and this robot and like the sentience. So like he kind of pushed that forward, and she's always been like against it. So I don't know, sassy ladies. You know, I love sassy ladies.
Yeah, especially ones that are against, you know, technology and robots.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, yeah. Full circle moment for me here. And then next I have Art Brute. This is issue number 3. This is just about, I can't remember the main character's name. A character
Andy
who can,
Warhol.
That's not the main character's name. The bad guy kind of looks like Andy Warhol, but the main character can jump into like paintings and talk to who's inside them. And in this one, he goes into the Scream to find out like what's been going on in all of the paintings, why they've all been kind of getting fucked up. Yeah, just a silly little Maxwell Prince book, you know. I think they're all they're not all the same, but they all have that same like feel to them. But just weird shit, you know, just weird shit.
Yeah, weird, like horror-esque kind of.
Yeah, weird horror-esque. And then like this one, you know, it's like very much like art related. So it feels like if you enjoy art on any sort of level, like there's funny aspects to it. You have like the variants, or I mean, even not the variants are like art related in some way, shape, or form. Like it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Like it's a silly book for smart people. As a joke, I'm joking. Nobody take that seriously, please.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. We've got What's the Furthest Place from Here? This is issue number 11. I think this is one of my favorites because Oberon is my favorite character, and we finally get to figure out what happened to them. And what's, you know, been happening since the Academy. Is that what they're called?
Yeah. Since the Academy broke up.
Yes. which yeah, I just absolutely loved. And they run into an old friend.
Yeah,
I absolutely love this. I don't know, there was something so much fun about this issue.
I like the beats a lot. Like the story beats were really great. Um, the art looked really fucking great,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Like their pages and like scenes were just looked so good. Um, yeah, this issue was a lot of fun. I think it was like, yeah, also seeing people come together after not seeing each other for a long time, and then also like over and having to connect with another group and finding that connection and like kind of accidentally giving it all up, I
Mm-hmm.
suppose. I really
Without
like,
realizing it, that wasn't
yeah,
like an intention at all. It
yeah. I'm very like, I don't know, the story arc and these issues have really been like once again like a kind of like what the fuck is going on, but not in like a bad way.
Mm-hmm. It's been really cool, like being able to catch up with like each person, or I
Hmm.
mean, like you get a different part of the story with every single issue.
Hmm.
But I do want to show my favorite page in here because it's exactly how I would have reacted had I seen this, and it's when they see the rat under there and goes,
Hmm.
"Oh hell no." And then they get attacked by it, and then yeah, it's like I hate them so much, and there's like a whole crew of rats just like waiting. I
Yeah.
loved it. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, it was a good issue. Definitely a solid book overall. And yeah, yeah. I don't know. This issue, I do wish I understood what was so fun about this issue too.
Yeah, there was just something like, because I don't know, it was a little bit all over the place, but it was just so fun to see like the time lapse,
Hmm.
I guess, of like, because that it's over a period of time, like there's facial hair grown in and stuff, so it's
Yeah.
been a while. But
Also, I will say you get some boobs.
yeah, there are boobs in that. I was like shocked when that happened. She rips those wrappings off. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I feel like it was like one of the first things I saw in the page turn, and I was like, oh,
It's the whole
oh.
dance of the body too. Like when she's on him, like it was powerful.
Anyway, I know
Anyway,
where
all
our
right.
minds are.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. And lastly, we have Kaya. This is issue number 5, and it says an unexpected wedding takes place when our adventurers reach their destination. Secrets between Kaya and her brother Jin threaten to tear them apart just as a monstrous new threat attacks.
I was like, where are you reading that? I forgot
I
it's like right
love
on the
that
bottom.
it's
Yeah,
included. Like I
it's
love
good.
that so much because sometimes I forget everything that like happens within an issue, because in this one in particular there's a lot of dialogue. Like there's a
Hmm.
lot of stuff that's happening. And so when I was like thinking about it, I was trying to remember like every little thing that happens, because there's a lot of conversations, there's a lot of like plot moving forward, there's just a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that happens. And then I remembered it's always on the front.
Yeah, and like this particular issue, like in the last issue, really builds upon like what Kaya and Jin's like mission really is and like who he really is
Mm-hmm.
and like what it means to be him, while like the first few issues kind of were just like giving you this world and like who's who. I really I love this book a lot. Like I fucking like I love the way it looks. Like I love the way like Kaya and Jin like talk to each other and like the
Mm-hmm.
way they look. Um, I don't know, there's something just like it's a really fun adventure story. And the way this one ended too, I was like, do not hurt. I,
I know, I can't handle it. Did you read the author's note?
yes.
Okay. For those of you who are reading this or who are curious to know this, it is the end of this first story arc, and there will be a special little one shot when?
I think March is what it said.
Next, yeah, next month, March. that is going to reveal the origin of Kaya's arm, and it's not going to be included within the trade that includes the first story arc. It's going to be a standalone issue that is only available as a single issue. So if you are interested, pay attention.
Yeah, and in the author's note as well, Wes Craig said it's like a good jumping on point for people who like want to start the series. And I think too, like the way this wraps up, it, you know, this first story arc builds upon this story, but I feel like we're gonna really get into like what everything is supposed to be within like the next like story arc or so. I don't know. I'm having a good time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I do enjoy it. I like all the characters and stuff, and I like that weird shedding of the skin that happened.
Yeah, that was a really interesting like story like line. And even then, like Kaya was like, well, he's like, because Jin's like, he didn't change, and she was like, a liar and coward never does. And it's like, damn bitch.
Yeah. He just got rid of all of his skin.
Yeah, like that is insane. I mean, we'll see, you know, like I obviously that character is like a garbage piece of shit. So,
Yeah.
but I feel like, and I suppose you have also helped me with this, is like, you know, sometimes those characters are also the characters that like they need to learn, and they're going to hopefully learn, and they will have like the more sturdy story arcs because of like their literal pitfalls and like shittiness.
Mm-hmm. Bad characters aren't always bad. They just have a bad time.
Well, and you know, it's like also the fact that like they can be bad, but it's also like they're people we also need to learn from. Like they're bad people everywhere.
Every bad person thinks they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, or
So
there's
just,
something
you
else.
know.
Other deeper things going on.
Yes.
Anyway, that's a whole nother thing again.
Maybe one day we'll talk about it. I could go on for hours.
Yeah. All right, well, that was our last comic book. I don't really have anything else at all.
I don't either.
I didn't queue up my joke, so maybe someday you guys will hear it.
Yeah.
I'll come up with more Gone Girl material. I hear that's a hit.
Yeah, workshop it and we'll do it like next week or something.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So you know, go support your local comic shops. Go buy some comic books. Take care of your people. Be good to one another. Go to your local libraries. If you're in Omaha, I'm pretty sure there is a survey about the public libraries. So if you get a chance, Google that, find it, fill it out, help the community out. Heather, you got any other? Can you think of any other small things?
In regards to like public libraries and stuff, if you listen to audiobooks, cancel your Audible membership and instead go through Libby, and you can like check out audiobooks and stuff from like local libraries. There's an app for it that you can use. It's way easier. You don't have to pay for it. You just use your library card online. So
cool.
I would recommend doing that instead. I am also a hypocrite because I have Audible, but it's only because I don't have a library card apparently. So I just wanted to let everyone else know, because that is what I'm going to be doing. I just need to get my library card back. I don't know what happened to it. I have no idea where it is.
Can you look it up, that stuff up online?
I'm sure I can, but the last time that I used it was when I was like consistently going to the library when I lived in Lincoln, because that library that I went to was like a block away from where I lived.
So you probably don't have like an Omaha Public Library card.
No, that's what I need to work on. But yeah, there's that. Also, don't trust the government. That's all.
Yes. I don't disagree. I hope everybody knows this. Like,
that wasn't sarcasm. That was real.
Yeah, that was real. I also believe not to trust the government, or as Fox Mulder taught me when I was at a very young age, trust no one.
True.
That dude knew what was up.
True. Speaking of X-Files, I've been going back and rewatching it, and one of my favorite scenes, I think, in it, I didn't realize how funny it was until I was watching it, is when he's taken like hostage. I don't remember what episode it is, and Scully gets out of the car and she like has a gun and he has been like away for like several days, so he looks like garbage. But I'll find the scene and I'll send it to you, because the way that he like walks forward and moves towards her makes it look like he's about to throw up, and he's about to say like, "Mom, I threw up." Could not, like, that scene was so intense when I was younger. I remember watching and being like, "Oh my god, he's gonna get shot, like someone's gonna shoot him, he's gonna die." And then I watched it like a few days ago and I was like, no, he's gonna throw up. He's just sick.
God, love X-Files. Great show.
Anyway.
Top-notch stuff right there.
Yeah,
God.
so good.
Made me fearful for a lot of stuff.
I was convinced that I could dismantle a bomb if I needed to. I don't know why. Like, I watched that first movie like so many fucking times, and I remember watching the scene where he's like in the room and he's like trying to unwire or like do all sorts of stuff to it. And I remember thinking when I was like 9 years old, like, I could do that. Like, I could have done that and I could have saved everyone in that building.
Could do that.
I could do that.
Anyway, X-Files rant. We could do that again someday.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to us. We appreciate and love you. I mean, I hope you know that.
Mm-hmm.
And go take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on the flippity flip.
Flippity flip.
Dog. It's just passed out.
Yeah.